we are going to talk about boot camp. So these are 2 full days, jam-packed. We're going to go through every topic a new insurance agent needs to know to get started in the industry. For those who have already signed up for boot camp, these are available in your course portal. So make sure to print these up. We're going to go through a few of these today. One of the things that I really want to start with are the foundations of insurance. So not everybody owns a business. Not everybody owns a boat or a camper, right? Life insurance, that's kind of something that, people can decide whether or not they want. But home and auto, if you're driving a car, you are legally required to have insurance, right? That is the vast majority of most people. They're going to need it. Homeowners insurance. I suppose if you don't have a loan on your home, you don't need insurance, right? I guess. It's not required by your lender if you don't have a lender. But most people I know have a mortgage, they have a loan, they need homeowners insurance. And I would even say for those who inherited a property, you want to insure that. If you don't insure it and there's a fire and the whole home goes up in smoke, well, you don't have a home. You don't have a home. You don't have loss of use. All your personal property is gone. So the foundation of insurance is to indemnify. If something bad were to happen, if you got into an auto accident, your car is totaled, well, you're going to be walking unless you had comp or collision, a tree falls on your car, or you run into a tree. You might be out of vehicle if you don't have those things. A lot of carriers say, we're not going to give you car rental unless you have comp or collision. So the foundation of insurance is to make sure you cover your assets. We work so hard for everything that we've earned, everything that we have, that without insurance, if it were to be gone, that's it. We're out. So insurance does help us in the background. Okay. So foundation of insurance. As insurance agents, we are superheroes of indemnification. We want to make sure we're covering other people's assets, everything that they've worked for. Okay. The insurance industry, and I'm doing these by modules. So I am going to be taking an hour long to be able to break down each one, but we're going to have 15 modules in total. So our second module is going to be the industry overview. And that's going to consist of the basics. Where does it start? What is the difference between captive and non-captive insurance agents? Our captive agents, those are going to be your State Farms, your Allstates, American Family. These companies only offer themselves. Farmers is a great example. They're technically captive, except they can offer Bristol and Foremost. So sometimes these larger carriers will have a secondary or a step down company. But if you are non-captive, and I am non-captive, I work at a brokerage, we can offer 40 different carriers. So I can quote carriers like Progressive, Travelers, Liberty Mutual, Geico. So these carriers are comfortable being offered in a brokerage setting. I can't offer State Farm. They are their own company. I can't offer Allstate. They are their own company. So biggest difference between captive and non-captive is what you have to offer and how many different companies you can work with. One of the benefits of being with a captive agency, man, they have great benefits. They've got health insurance. They got their 401ks. They do all the advertising. They may be the ones to purchase all the leads. You don't have to go hunting for people. So that's a perk of being with a captive agency. Being with a brokerage, you might have to go out and find your own leads. Your agency owner might purchase them. But if you have gone independent of yourself, you might have to purchase them if you've created your own agency. Another thing about captive agencies, they appoint you. Once you get hired on, you are appointed by State Farm, Allstate, and then you just sell their product. But in a brokerage setting, you have to go, either you're going to work with an aggregator, a cluster, so to speak. They've got a whole bunch of companies, they're already appointed, and they extend that to you. Or you can go directly to these carriers, Geico, Progressive, Liberty Mutual, and you can request an appointment. Trouble with that is a lot of carriers are not appointing right now. It is awfully difficult to get an appointment right now. And quite often, if they do appoint you, they want to see a certain level of sales. Well, if you are right out of the gate and you don't have any sales yet, you're lucky to get an appointment. So this is where we recommend clusters and aggregators. We're going to go deeper into that on Saturday. Personal auto basics. So when you're quoting auto insurance, the big things that you're going to be asking for: name, address, phone number, date of birth, driver's license number, email address. You can either ask them, there are two ways to collect information, and this is how I tell my customers, clients, policyholders, there are two ways to collect information. Way number one, we can go through this verbally, line by line, VINs, mileage, ownership, how long we've had the vehicle, whether or not it's garage, what our coverages look like, or I'm a time management girl if you prefer to send those over via declaration. So I'm going to send an email out either way. I send a hi and hello email almost immediately. I've already got it in my OneNote for copy paste. So the moment they call me, I'm already crafting my email while I'm creating their profile. It's a piece of cake, and it's muscle memory. So the more you do it, the easier it becomes. But if they prefer to send me their declaration page, perfect. Because then I know the likelihood of mistakes. Your VIN is a good example. How often have we heard an 8 sound like an H? Anyone? Anyone ever misheard our VIN numbers? Yeah, for sure. Or they're saying it wrong. They're saying O instead of 0. Now, we as insurance agents know it's a 0. There are no O's in a VIN. So this is where we have to be kind of forward thinking. A little experience helps with that too. But as you're running your auto quote, collect the information, try to breathe through it a little bit. Name, address, phone number, date of birth, driver's license number, your email address. A lot of times clients are already exhausted within the first 5 minutes. We have asked them a ton of questions. So after I have their main profile created, I like to give it a breather. I like to insert a couple of little moments. Well, how did you find us today? Maybe I'm crafting their email in the background. It buys me a minute. How did you find us? Oh, I found you on Google. Perfect. I'll say, I love our Googles. Thank you. And then I will write in my notes, Google. Because that way I know when I'm binding the coverage, I'm going to come back and I'm going to say, Tia, I'm so glad that you found us. We were able to save you $100 a month, or we were able to lower your deductible. And you know how much we love our Googles. It's going to go back to that first conversation. You know how much we love our Googles. We collect Google reviews like a little kid collects stickers. If you would like, there's a link at the bottom of my email. You are more than welcome to join, and that helps others find us. So it's planting little seeds at the very beginning. Another thing I like to ask while I'm creating their profile, and I insert this wherever it is most natural. Who is your current carrier? Being at a brokerage, one, I don't want to double shop. If they're with Progressive, I might run them through, but why? I tell them I'm a time management girl. I want to make sure I'm doing my best for you. The other question I like to ask is, what's got us calling today? If they tell me my policy is non-renewing, I know there was an uh-oh somewhere. Was there a claim? Did we have, were we in a car accident? Was there something? Do we have a DUI? Does State Farm not want to insure him? Why? What happened? And I tell them too, listen, I'm a nosy girl. There are 3 people you want to make sure, well, always be honest, but there are 3 entities you want to make sure you are super honest with. Your spouse, your attorney, and your insurance agent. We're supposed to be here to help you. So I will ask, what's got us calling today? If it's a price thing, well, I follow that up within 60 seconds. I'm going to keep my eyes out for discounts, programs, anything that you might be eligible for. Do we have any military service? Can I ask your education level? Can I ask your occupation? So education and occupation are things we need to collect either way. It is part of the rating factor, regardless of how we feel about it. We are the representatives, not just for our customer, but for our company. So by looping that into the discount review, I find I get less pushback. And there are discounts. Maybe I'm talking to a teacher or a doctor or a firefighter. So I like to loop those things in. Homeowners insurance. And I know I'm going high speed, but again, it's a baby boot camp. I can't wait to dive in on Saturday. For our homeowners insurance, some of the biggest things that we need to make sure we hit and we communicate. 1, where is our dwelling coverage A currently set? If someone tells me it's set at $500,000, but I could sell this house for $750,000. Now I need to go into the conversation, the difference between replacement cost, which is our rebuild, lumber, nails, labor, countertops. I want to know, what is it going to cost to put your home back together if everything went up in smoke? That's our replacement, our rebuild. Sales price is a totally different thing. If the house goes up in smoke, we're not losing our land. The land doesn't go anywhere, and the land has a certain amount of value. I live in Scottsdale, and I could buy the same home down in Maricopa for half the price. The land value is part of our purchase price. But our lumber, our labor, that's rebuild cost. Sometimes rebuild cost is higher in a different area. If we have a home up in the mountains, it may cost more to get everything up the hill, right? So these estimated replacement cost calculators, RCEs, if you will, these run in the background. All carriers have them. I have not seen a carrier that doesn't. So an estimated replacement cost calculator, this is a conversation I have with every homeowner's policy. How much is it now? If they sent me their declaration page, I already know where it's at. Just because an agent put it at $500,000 doesn't mean that's where it should be. And as insurance agents, we don't want to just match what was on the last deck page. We want to make sure we're doing our due diligence to make sure they are adequately covered. I have seen on occasion where replacement cost is so high, it's so high, someone somewhere matched the purchase price. Maybe a new agent, maybe they didn't know. But they matched the purchase price, our dwelling coverage A, at $750,000 when we know it should be $500,000. And we have a replacement cost calculator to prove it. So now that conversation comes in. One of the reasons we're paying more is because we're actually overinsured. So that can happen too. Another conversation that comes up quite often, not every quote, but quite often, is actual cash value versus full replacement cost. The actual cash value of personal property. So let's say someone owns a very nice couch, a $6,000 couch. They love their couch. But if the whole home goes up in smoke and this couch is demolished, if they only got actual cash value on our $6,000 couch, they may only be paid out $3,000 because it depreciates over time. Let's say it's a 5-year-old couch. It's only worth $3,000 now. Well, now we've got our policyholder hooting and hollering for good reason. But if I were to go out and buy another couch, it's going to cost me $6,000. This is where we want full replacement cost. And the way I explain it to my policyholders, we can either do actual cash value or full replacement cost. Full replacement, you're going to be able to buy that brand spanking new. Actual cash value, you're going to be picking it up at a garage sale. That's how I give those visuals. Module number 5 is going to be all about understanding risk. Okay, so if someone says to me, I don't know why I need insurance. What's the point of even having insurance? I have insurance and I never use it. Perfect. That's the way we want it. Insurance is one of those things you want to have and never use. It absolutely is. The transfer of risk is saying, I might have hit somebody in front of me. I might have gotten into an accident and they're headed to the hospital. Now, I could pay their medical bills. I could pay $100,000 in their medical bills. But by me having an insurance policy, it takes the risk off of my shoulders. I'm not having to cut the check for that. I am paying a monthly premium, let's say $200 or $300 a month, to make sure if something bad were to happen, that this company is going to take care of them. They're going to take care of me, and I don't have to worry about it. Right now, I really want to give an example. I was camping over the last couple of weeks in preparation for boot camp, putting everything together. I isolated myself. And as I was coming home from my camping trip, someone rear-ended me. There were so many exchanges on the freeway during rush hour, it was hard to pinpoint. How did that happen? So when I called to make a claim, it technically would be considered like a hit and run situation. When I called to make a claim, the claims adjuster was like, okay, so you didn't see them, you don't know who they were, and I hadn't had my dash cams installed yet. Shame on me. We should all have dash cams. I'm a big advocate, especially now. So because my camper was dented in from the back, it is obvious I did not cause that damage. But it's still a collision claim. And that is because they have no one else to blame. There is no perpetrator, so to speak, right? So we have to make sure when we're communicating these things to our policyholders, I could have said, you know what, I don't want to transfer that risk. I want to take care of those repairs on my own without having a claim. But for me, one, I don't file claims traditionally. I take care of things myself. But for me, it was a brand new camper. If anything goes wrong with it, I want to make sure I'm fully indemnified. I want to make sure they put that thing back to perfect because it was perfect. And if I have a squeak 3 months down the road because I handled this on my own, my camper may never be the same. So there are times where you may encourage filing a claim. I don't do it very often, but this would be a case where I would encourage it. My deductible was low, and believe it or not, in 3 days, they already are offering me a check. Now, I haven't gone and gotten my assessment yet, so we will see how that plays out. But it's a good example of transfer of risk. Okay? If someone ended up hurt in that accident, this would be our uninsured, underinsured, because it would have been considered a hit and run. But fortunately, I was not hurt, and the camper took all the impact, as it is designed to do. So I was happy about that. So understanding risk, this is the foundation of insurance. We have to make sure as insurance agents that we are able to communicate what it means, why it's important. And if they say, I have insurance, I've never used it, I don't know why I have to pay for this, that's why. I had a choice on whether or not, because it's a pull behind, on whether or not I wanted to insure my camper. I absolutely did want to insure my camper because of that collision. Otherwise, the liability from my car would have transferred over. And we'll go in deeper. We'll go in deeper on Saturday. Okay. We will also be talking about a quoting workshop. How do we do our intakes? And in fact, let me grab that one, part of our workbook. Okay. I created the intake checklist. So a lot of new agents have asked me before, and we have created those in the past. This is going to be the expanded version. I want it to be printable. I want it to be something electronic. You can choose whether or not you want to do it on your computer or you just want to print these guys up. But the intake checklists, these are to help you. Repetition, right? These are to help you know name, address, phone number, date of birth, email, driver's license number. What are the things we are asking for over and over? And again, what we're doing here is creating muscle memory. We want to make sure you can do it in your sleep. Things like collecting VINs. You know, I mean, a lot of times, not everybody does this phonetically, right? U as in unicorn. Right? These are fun little things that I hear customers, clients, and policyholders use all the time. They'll make stuff up just to be able to communicate it. So as long as we are going with the flow and communicating with them on their level, this is matching the pace of our customer. When you are speaking to a customer for the very first time, you want to make sure you're going at their pace. If you have a Grandma Ethel on the phone, and you're talking 180 words per minute, well, is she going to build rapport with you? Probably not. And you're probably not building rapport with her. So we will be having a quoting workshop so that we can practice our pace. I also created our objection handling workbook. So each one of these workbooks do go with each other. For those who are coming to boot camp, all of these are available now in the course portal. They will also be modified and put into a new agent workbook available on Amazon after this weekend. So we have two ways of doing these things, like we do a lot of things. So we're going to do our objection handling workshop. This is 44 of the most common objections new agents get. I just flipped open a page. Let's just grab one. Aha! That just gave me chills. I pulled out objection number 12. I found something cheaper online. We hear that a lot, don't we? So when you're going to hear it, you're going to hear this either mid-quote or closing. Usually after they've gotten a number online. That seems redundant, but it is true. They may have gone online, quoted themselves out. Now, as we know, a lot of these quotes that are done online, reports are not run and they still have to talk to an agent. And in most cases, you got to start over and confirm the information anyway. If an insurance or if a policyholder has done a quote online and they see a price tag for $150 and then all of a sudden you're quoting them out and you're coming back at $250, then you have to explain what the difference was. Quite often, they may have quoted themselves at state minimums, super high deductibles, reports weren't run, and it can create a mess. So online quotes are not real until reports are run. Okay, so we're going to explain why our number is based on real data and why online numbers can change. So something you can say. I understand, but here's the difference. I've already run your motor vehicle reports, your clue reports, so my number is based on real data. When you quote yourself online, a couple of things can happen. The site might be a lead generator selling your information, or you still need an insurance agent to access that site, process it, and the price can change. I don't give you a number until the reports are run. That is the most accurate way. Now, I also included extra tips on 44 of these objections. When people quote themselves online, they don't know what the coverages mean. If we have to get licensed for these things, there's a reason for that. They don't know what the coverages mean. They're shopping price. Most of the time, they're going to shop price. So, of course, they spike their deductibles, they bottom out their liability, and they're trying to get a low number. This is where I like to point out the gaps. Both your comp and collision deductibles are at $1,000. There's no towing. I'm giving you better coverage. Okay. So the objection handling playbook, again, for the purposes of boot camp, we have these isolated out so that we can go through them. So at the end of Saturday, we are going to complete our boot camp session number 1 with social media. We're going to talk about how to post, where to post, and big high level on that one. How to post, give information. The did you know posts. Did you know that towing, as an example, that towing, if you put towing on your insurance policy and then you need to use it once or twice is okay. But let's say you use it 4 or 5 times in 3 or 4 years, it can start causing problems when you shop with other carriers. I like to recommend AAA. I'm a big fan of AAA. I have a membership. My kid has a membership. My brother has a membership. The reason for that is because if you run out of gas, need a tow, got a flat tire, let's say all 3 of those things happened within 1 month, you need to get some things done on your car, those are going to show up in the MVR. Things like this are not supposed to hurt our policyholders, but too many of anything. Any claim is a claim, is what I tell my policyholders. So something to post on the socials. Hey, I just saved, policyholder X amount of dollars with XYZ company. Have I done your review yet? You don't want to be a secret agent. You want to be an agent everywhere. So we're going to wrap up Saturday night with our social media. And the reason for that is I am in hopes that you will immediately go onto your Facebook page, TikTok, Instagram, and immediately post something that inspired you. Okay. Sunday morning is going to start with our morning motivation. Burnout is a real thing in this industry. And the reason behind that is because we are doing the same things over and over and over and over every single day. Same things. And it can get frustrating and tiresome. This industry, we get a lot of no's. But as we've said before, in the words of Dexter Yeager, every no gets you closer to a yes. So without quoting, there are no binds. Without people saying yes and no, there is no quoting. Without people knowing what you do, again, there is no quoting. So we are going to start Sunday morning handling rejections, handling the difficult policyholders. Mr. Grumpy is what we used to call him in the beginning. And we're going to talk about why consistency wins. So a good thing about this industry is if we need a timeout, most of us have the freedom to just say, you know what, I'm tapping out for 10 minutes. I need to go take a walk. If you have a frustrated customer on the line, you can breathe through that phone call. Some of us are in call centers and we know we may never speak to them again. But some of us are at agents' offices and we know we're still going to have to deal with Mr. Grumpy tomorrow. So we're going to go through how to handle this, how to handle rejection, how to handle grumpy people. Okay. And one thing I would say, if you've got a grumpy person on the phone and you're a naturally cheery person, and you're trying to crack jokes, that wouldn't be the appropriate place or time for these things, right? We want to make sure, again, that we are matching the pace of our customer. If someone says, Mary, I thought I had a $0 glass deductible. That's a thing here in Arizona. But I know we talked about it. She decided she didn't want full glass coverage. She just wanted it to match her regular deductible. I'm going to pull the emails. I'm going to make sure that I kept all the right notes, because the last thing we want is an E&O claim. Module 10 is going to be all about phone skills. These are literally the foundation of most every sales position. How do we answer the phone? How do we get over phone shyness? Okay. Sometimes new insurance agents, they have never answered a call like this before. They've never processed a policy like this. What are the next steps? We're going to go line by line on exactly how to open our call, inbound and outbound. How to open our call. Inbound is pretty easy. Thank you for calling XYZ Insurance Team. This is Mary. How can I help you? Normally, Joshua's going to say, you know what, Mary, I'm not happy with my insurance carrier. I don't like my broker. I've got a home, an auto, a boat, Ferrari, whatever it might be, right? And I'm immediately typing away. I'm using my Word documents. I'm using my OneNote. I'm opening portals, and I'm creating their profile. Okay, so how to open the call, line by line. We want to break this down. Just like the elephant, we take one bite at a time. We're also going to go over discovery calls. If we are doing cold calls, we're reaching out. We're wanting to connect with our mortgagees, our lenders, our fix and flippers, a dealership. Maybe we just learned there's a wildfire area and we have a carrier that covers that wildfire area. Well, let's give a mortgagee, let's give a real estate agent in that area a phone call and let them know I have access to carriers in your area. I'm more than happy to help. And that is part of the lead sheets and intake checklist. How to communicate with the big fish, the people we want to be referral partners with. Okay. Cross-selling. Just before lunch, we're going to talk about cross-selling. Something I learned recently, did you know 50% of recreational vehicles are uninsured? And really, the reason behind that is because they get talked out of insuring their rec vehicle. Campers, boats, ATVs. Oh, you're off-road, it's fine. Nothing bad will ever happen. Okay, except it does, it can, and it does. If you're relying on your vehicle, your liability, and you're pulling a camper, I swing into somebody, my camper is damaged. Sure, the liability carries over, but what about my camper? I do want to make sure that thing gets fixed. We want to bundle as often as possible. If somebody calls in and they've got one auto, that's great, but where are we living? Oh, I live with my parents. Okay, do you have a renter's policy? No, I don't need a renter's policy. I live with my parents. Except, if you are displaced, that is your loss of use. If the house is burglarized and it's your Rolex that is stolen, your parents' insurance is not going to cover that. That's your property. Okay. So we're going to talk about renters policies, umbrellas. We've done a lot of training on cross-selling. We created the cross-selling game just for that. Umbrella policies are the perfect cross-sell. If someone is already at 100, 300, it's nothing. It's a click of a button to see what 250, 500 looks like. Well, once they're at 250, 500, it's really a few more clicks of a button to see what an umbrella policy looks like. So the best lead you will ever have is the lead you have on the phone right now. If the phone is ringing off the hook and you're trying to get someone off the phone so that you can go grab that lead, well, hang on. We don't want to be scatterbrained in how we're doing things. We want to make sure we're paying attention to the person in front of us. We're finding out how we can protect them. Okay. RVs, I already touched on. Specialty lines of insurance are also important. What if they are renting a cabin? They have a secondary home up in the hills. It's already paid off. Maybe we inherited it. They're like, nah, I don't have a policy on that. It's a hard placement or it's too expensive. Okay, but if the whole thing burned down, or worse, if someone came onto the property and they got injured and they're trying to sue you, that's a real problem. Quick story time. I recently had a policyholder who had a $100,000 liability claim in her record, and she was an awfully difficult placement. And the reason is because someone came onto her property and the dog was protecting. The dog did what dogs do, and the person sued her. She won. And the insurance paid out $100,000. And now she has to pay the difference in premium. That's a claims conversation. We'll get there. Okay. Building referral partners. Again, super excited about our referral partner sheets. Dealerships. We're going to help you create your dream list. Who are the people we need to reach out to? How do we do that? How do we contact them? And remember, we have to get out of our comfort zone in order to do those things. So I also created, and these all go together, our 90-day tracker. So not only are we going through this, there will be accountability in this. We want to make sure the momentum gained is not lost. So if you have signed up for boot camp, be prepared. There will be 90 days of accountability. We want to make sure you're growing in this. Right? This is not one of those courses you can attend and then magically things happen. You have to make them happen. Okay. If you want to be $1 million writer, you can do it. This is the industry to do it for sure. Okay. We will have, again, this is going to be Sunday afternoon. We will have claims conversations and how to avoid them. As insurance agents, we are not claims adjusters. Okay. We are not actuaries. When someone says, why did my price go up? I'm not an actuary. There are so many variables that run in the background. I am not an actuary, but I am in charge of our discounts. Happy to review. When someone has a claims question for me, I don't know why they paid that person $100,000 for a dog bite. I don't know. If I were a claims adjuster, I might not be happy about that, but I'm not a claims adjuster. So claims questions, if someone says what happens if, or they want details or they want specifics, I go right into the carrier website and I will pull my resources. I read it off the carrier website. Don't make anything up. Don't promise they're going to cover anything. You don't want to do that, but there are certain phrases and terms that should be used so that we cover ourselves. Things like, you know what, CJ, I'm really sorry to hear that happened 5 years ago. I am not a claims adjuster, nor am I licensed for that. Insurance, you've heard me say this before. Insurance is a highly regulated industry and I stay in my lane. One thing we do here at the office is help you decide whether or not a claim makes sense. If you had a window busted out and you did not have $0 glass coverage, right? Are you paying $1,000 deductible to fix that window? Let's Google the cost of our window. Let's get an estimate on the window. I'll bet you a nickel. You're going to want to pay for that yourself. So these kinds of things, helping them navigate, yes. Answering claims questions? Absolutely not. We stay in our wheelhouse. We're going to dive deep into real life survival. A lot of times in this industry, agents are thrown into the deep end. See my little pun here for my background? Insurance agents are thrown into the deep end and told sink or swim. A lot of times during the hiring process, we are promised that we will get adequate training. There are videos on everything, right? And that we're gonna have all these resources. We will be able to ask people things. Well, that doesn't always work out because the top salesperson at the agency isn't getting paid to train you. They are getting paid to quote and bind, and that's what they want to do. So quite often, they might be okay with you asking a question or two, but be prepared. They may also say, you already asked me that question. When the truth is, you did not. That might have been the last person they hired. One of the reasons why the turnover is so high in this industry, 90% of new agents fail within the first 3 years. One of the reasons is training. So this boot camp, we are putting it all together. That way there are no questions. But if there are questions, I live here. So no worries there. And then again, we are going to go over the first 90-day plan. We will have accountability, worksheets. We want to make sure y'all are successful because this industry changed my life. I did the single mom hustle. We did top ramen and hot dogs. I rode my bicycle for years. I did what I had to do so I could do what I want to do. But it was insurance that changed my life. I have enough financial freedom now that I'm at no one's mercy. And I want that for you too. I want you to be able to have these printed out, scribbled up, so that by the end of this weekend, you have a game plan. Okay? We're going to post something on our socials on Saturday night. We're going to post again on Sunday night. On Monday morning, headset or no. We want everyone to know what it is that you do and how much you love doing it.
Hi, Mary.
Hello.
Hi, this is Allison. If you can't make the boot camp, can you pay for the course and get a recording of it?
That is a great question. So yes, everything will be recorded. Anyone who has purchased a ticket will get the recording, all of our materials that we created. And again, I mean, I'm here.
Okay. And with this course, I know you talk more about PC. Would it help with life and health?
Absolutely. I mean, life and health is a cross sell for sure. So
Okay.
if you are licensed at all, I would say Saturday is heavy on the PNC, and we designed it that way on purpose.
Okay.
Because we have never done just a personal lines boot camp. We've done a lot of other things with life and health, and I can get you the resources on that. But the high level on it is, how do we make these offerings? Where do we find our leads? So insurance is definitely a village. They all work together. Yeah.
Okay. You think I would do better just doing the Sunday course versus the Saturday course since it's PNC?
If you're going to come live, because you're life and health, I would say the best live is going to be on Sunday for you. Yeah. But the package is just the package. So if you decide that you want to pick up a ticket and you can just skip ahead to modules.
Okay.
9 through 15 would be the ones. But our reason for breaking this down too is so that for those who have questions on a specific topic, we'll be able to have those isolated on purpose.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
I'm excited. I'm hoping the new generation of insurance agents are right out the gate. It's everything we wish we knew. All right. I hope everybody has a great rest of your night.